What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And in today's video, we got to talk about CARB. We're talking about why I think they're going to be shut down, as it looks like right now, Bianco is surging in the polls. They're going to be voting in the next 48 hours in the primary for California governor. But Hilton just changed his stance on one thing: the California Air Resource Board. Now, he kind of did this a little bit in the debates, but we're going to talk about why this is huge and why the people that are there are now shook. Roll the intro. A quick word from this video's sponsor today, Delete Me. Have you noticed how scams don't feel random anymore? Like they already know just enough about you to seem like they could possibly be legit. It's not by accident. There's a whole industry of data brokers collecting and selling your personal information. Things like your name, your phone number, address history, even connections to family members. It's kind of crazy. And a big chunk of that lives on people search sites that pretty much anyone can access. So when you get a call or a message that feels it's like a little too specific, like somebody might actually know you, there's a good chance that it came from one of these, I don't even want to call them databases, but these databases. That's why I started using Delete Me. They go in where your info is actually listed and they work to remove it from hundreds of those websites. You can see how many listings on mine here were actually there before they were removed. And because new data constantly keeps popping up, they keep checking it and removing it for you over time. Also worth mentioning, Delete Me has been doing this for like 15 years and everything's handled. It's all done in-house, simple to do, and it's less stress for you to have to contact all of these individual websites. If you want to start cleaning up your digital footprint now, you can go over to joindeleteme.com/TK Garage and use the code TK Garage for 20% off. Now, let's get back to the video. So, we've talked about this in detail, and this is nothing new. We're looking at possibly coming to the end of SMOG, of emissions policies, of all of this BS, of state refs, all of that. Now, there's one candidate for sure that if you vote that way has guaranteed that he shuts that down on day one, and that's Chad Bianco. Okay, he said, day one, when I come in there, the California Air Resource Board is done. We are done with this madness, this crazy climate policy, the attack on car culture. And California is literally, I don't want to call it the mecca of car culture, but it used to be such a huge place for car culture. And now it's really a friggin' disaster, unless you're not driving the vehicles. If you're trailering them for shows or whatever, sure, I guess you could still do that. But it was always like a tuner/builder state. They would build these cars. People would buy a shit box and then spend money over time to build up these amazing vehicles. That's dead in California right now, like business and everything else for that matter. Now, previously he was proposing to scale back the authority, meaning return CARB to its original air quality mission by stripping away its sweeping climate policies. And he would also, by doing this, he said it would reduce energy costs because he'd be able to claim the reduction in bureaucratic overreach, and it would help California's electric bills. I don't know about that, but he also wanted to push for broader deregulation, and I'm talking about Hilton. Hilton's wider energy platform proposes combining overlapping state agencies and implementing regulatory budgets to slash state red tape. Now it's come out, and I saw this on Facebook, on his Facebook page, and it's Steve Hilton for governor. He will make it a priority to dismantle CARB on day one. No other government entity has done more to harm California than CARB. That was posted this morning. Why is that important? Because ending the California Air Resource Board is the most popular thing that any candidate can run on in the state of California. It's not homelessness. It's not stuff about the fires. It's literally, can we stop getting ass raped, with over money for gas prices, smog tests. Now you want to bring in safety inspection BS because they know the smog's probably going out the window. Now, Hilton, this is the problem I have with Hilton. Hilton is in favor of these safety inspections. Bianco is not. Bianco is literally like a Florida approach. We don't need inspections. We don't need smog tests. We can do what we want with our vehicles that we own. That is the best, in my opinion, the best candidate on the ballot. Now, what's interesting here is with Bianco surging in the polls here late, Democrats are freaking out because if Bianco gets to number 2, if he hops Becerra and gets to number 2, or, Becerra and Hilton keep going back and forth, right? But if he gets right there and you have Hilton and Bianco 1 and 2, that's huge. That is absolutely a massive, massive deal. Now, I know you're going to say, well, why is it so big? Why is it such a big deal, TK? It's such a big deal because you'd have no Democrats to vote for in November. You guarantee a Republican governor. And at that point, I think Bianco could overtake Hilton. Hilton has so much money in it. This is the other thing that's dangerous to me from what I'm seeing right now is he has so much money coming in from Democrat super PACs because they know Bianco is actually a change agent. That guy's going to go in, end CARB, end smog checks, lower the DMV prices, get rid of all these gas regulations, cut the gas tax, all of that, which would, in the first year, save people in California thousands of dollars, real money that would go in your pocket. That's why they're scared of Bianco. Hilton is kind of playing the politician game. I'll do this, I'll do that, and maybe not do any of it. That is my problem with Hilton. If Hilton is the only choice, obviously that's the only way you got to go. You can't go Becerra, you can't go whoever, but I thought this was interesting. I wanted to cover it with you guys because we have an opportunity, and I'm not in California, so I'm not saying we like I'm a California resident, but there is an opportunity to return car culture to California. And it's by boxing out these other retards. And if you're, and now, and I really believe what Bianco was saying about fake polls and all this other shit now, because I think the early voting that's going on right now is so strong in Bianco's favor. Now the press is going like, oh shit, we can't say that he's not surging in the polls because we're going to look bad when the actual numbers, when the exit polls come out, we're going to look stupid. So now they're starting to come out and say, oh yeah, Bianco's surging. Or was he already there? He didn't surge. He was already there. He was already booming. And you guys just tried to use fake polls and all the rest of this shit to bring him down. Anyways, I'm excited for this for 2 reasons. It's going to be June tomorrow, right? That means we're halfway through this year. The election is in November. January, within 6 months, we could see the end of the California Air Resource Board completely gone. We could see the end completely of smog checks. And that is an awesome thing to be able to think about. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends. Whoopee!